This is Neff. After a long period of time, we're back. The
Hey,
Outerhaven.net podcast is online. I'm here with Shadow Haxor. What up, Hax?
What up?
And I'm here with Bwiz. What up, Bwiz?
What's happening, y'all?
All right. We're going to be talking about some awesome stuff today. Got a great show for you guys, and we're going to, just do what we normally do and just entertain you guys. Nitro will be on in a little bit. So, but what you guys been up to?
Well, for me, it's just been school and whatnot. I've been dabbling, looking at the video game news, and I finally opened up Infamous 2 and gave it a play.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really? How
Yeah.
you liking it?
I like it. It's more fluid than the first one, even though the story's a little convoluted, how they did it. But all in all, it's good. It's pretty damn good.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. How's the graphics? Everything is.
Yeah, it looks cleaner, actually. It's a little bit brighter, too.
Yeah, everything about it is just bigger and better than the first.
I haven't completed the game yet. I only played it a
so
little.
far from what you've seen.
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm glad to hear that. Fantastic. So school is good.
School is school. That's all I can say. It's school.
You had
Shit.
more quizzes lately?
Yeah, actually, and I flopped on it.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I flopped on it.
Yeah.
So I got Mando study for the next few days until we take our big test Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, programming ain't easy.
Well,
Yeah. So it's like, hey, at least you passed a lot of earlier tests. A couple of earlier quizzes and tests you had. So hey, you're gonna miss one eventually.
Yeah. Well, the quizzes don't count towards my GPA, so my GPA will stay up.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What about you, Hax?
Hey, man, just trying to stay alive. Looking at redoing the house finally.
Fantastic.
Looking at adding some AC for next year, repairing some steps, working on the house in general.
Right.
I ain't played anything recently. Hey, but I made a conscious decision today to stop playing Warcraft again. Yet again.
Wow.
Let's see how long that lasts.
Let's see how long you relapse.
I don't see how y'all.
Let's see how long it's
You
till.
want to know something, boys?
What's
Me
that?
neither. That's why I'm trying to stop playing it.
Man, I don't see how y'all can keep playing that game. I mean, I know there's a bunch of World of Warcraft people out there. I mean, you graduate from Ultima, then you go to Evercrack, and then you go to World of Warcraft, and there's still some people that still be playing that Lord of the Rings online too.
Yeah, there's Lord of the Rings. You got the free-to-play MMOs like Vindictus, and you got a couple new ones. Well, I'm trying to free my plate for some of the newer free-to-play MMOs that come out later on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Some that aren't as big as a time scene as Warcraft. Well, except for Star Wars Old Republic, but that's not out yet. But honestly, Warcraft hasn't been very interesting since I want to say maybe the Lich King. The new expansion Cataclysm has been very lackluster. It's been the same thing over and over again. I mean, even right now, 4.2 dropped, and it's like, oh, you added a new raid encounter for us to do. Thanks. We enjoy it, but where's the stuff for the casual people? Where's the new dungeons? What if I don't raid? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
Just saying shit over and over and over again? Thanks. I'll pass.
Right. Oh man.
And I'll be $15 richer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
will be.
There
will
you
be
go.
$15 richer. Exactly. But it sounds like you you got your plate full. And as for me, I've been watching movies. I've been getting back on my my movie thing, because I got a whole bunch of movies, and then plus I got Netflix streaming. And for you Power Ranger fans out there,
They exist?
well, yeah, they do. Power Ranger guys from when we were kids. I'm mainly talking about the fans from '93, from the original series.
Oh, okay.
They have the entire series from the original all through the latest one, I guess, on Netflix streaming. So my boy just told me about it, and I was like, get the hell out of here. So and lo and behold, it's on there. So I added it to my instant queue, and I was watching a few episodes, and I was just like, I felt like I was 14 again.
Power Rangers?
Yeah, the original Power Ranger series back in '93. The Green Ranger, Megazord, the original shit from '93. So I mean, I used to watch that shit when I was a kid, man. I was 14 when that shit came out, and I used to love that shit. And I
Man,
don't
you
like
just
Power
reminded me
Rangers.
how old I am.
Huh?
You just reminded me of how old I am. Shit.
Hey, he's older than me, guys. So.
Oh. Oh, don't let the whole world know. Shit.
Yeah, I'm blowing up your spot now.
Bwizzy's the oldest man on the podcast.
Fun on, you know. No, but I was watching the episodes, man. And it just like I was like, holy snap, you know. It took me back, and I was like, it was so campy. Like this show is so great and so corny. It's amazing. It's everything I remembered. It's like everything I loved about it is intact, and everything that was always wrong about it is intact. It's like the show is what it's supposed to be, and I'm enjoying watching it. So, all you know, Outerhaven heads out there, you know, go on if you got Netflix streaming on any of your systems or your PC, whatever. And you love Power Rangers, the old Power Rangers, not the new shit. You know, go put them shits on there and watch them shit. You'll have a ball. Been watching I just got Ip Man 2 finally.
What?
Yeah, finally. I know.
Why didn't you get at me about that? I told you about that, man.
Because it's like I wanted it on Blu-ray.
I bought mine off Yes Asia. I could have gave you mine since I already watched it like 7 times.
Yeah, so I finally saw it, and I saw it on Blu-ray, and it was really, really good. It wasn't as good as the first one.
No, it was not.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still tight. It had some really good fighting scenes, pretty decent story. For anybody that hasn't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but let's just say they have like a little cameo for like if they ever make a third one, whatever.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know but it was a tight flick. Donnie Yen is the man. He gets nothing but props from me always. You know, I've been watching that guy since I was a kid.
Question: have either of y'all seen this movie called The Man from Nowhere?
Yeah, I have it.
That was hot.
I have it. It's hot. It really is hot. It's a Korean flick.
Korean Chinese gangster movie, man.
Yeah, it's hot. It's really hot. It's really.
It ain't got no over the top martial arts. It just got.
This is just straight up action. This is just straight up gangster action flick.
Yeah. And the storyline's really good.
Yeah, it's really touching. I mean, like, you know, the whole thing with the, you know, girl, whatever. It's really, really touching. And but it's some good scenes. The guy that starred in it was kick ass. Like, I want to see more movies with this dude in it. It was really good. Yo, have you seen City of Violence?
That's pretty old, isn't it? I think I've seen that.
It's another Korean flick.
City of Violence. I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
Got it. I think it's a couple of years old. I'm sure you've seen it before I have.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, so City of Violence was hot, man. I watched it. I watched it actually yesterday. It was a lot of action, good, you know, really tight story, really interesting characters. Koreans be doing it.
Yeah, I did see this.
So you did see it, right?
Yeah, I did see this. When they go to dude's place and they just whooping ass,
yeah,
you know, all over the place. Yeah, I seen that.
It was really hot. I recommend anyone, you know, seeing City of Violence. It was tight.
Yeah, it's not like these cats are like great martial artists and they going through getting unscathed. They getting their asses whooped while they killing and beating down a lot of people. So it was pretty damn good to me.
And I think it was the guy from if I'm not mistaken, he looks like the dude from Versus. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it is. That's him.
That's the guy from Versus?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure.
That's my dude right there. And I was like, yo, is this the guy from Versus? Through the whole movie. It's like, yo, because Versus was my movie. That is one of the dopest.
I didn't too much like Versus.
Dude, man. Oh my God, dude, let me tell you, dude. Oh my God, the fight scenes. The premise was like crazy fish out of water, but it was still ill. I loved Versus. I was like, I mean, I guess, you know, different strokes for different folks, but I was loving Versus. Like,
well, you talking about sex now?
Huh?
Nothing.
Crazy. Yeah, but City of Violence was hot. It wasn't like these, you know, it wasn't any like over the top martial arts sequences, you know. It was just like your standard, you know, jump kick, spin kick, hit, knock, blah 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 fare as far as martial arts goes. It wasn't anything special, but whatever they did, it was really good and it was really entertaining. Had, like I said, a tight story, interesting characters. It was really good. I enjoyed watching it, and I recommend it to anybody that loves, you know, like Asian action cinema and stuff. So,
yeah.
It was really tight. Wasn't a lot of gun battles though.
No, even though on the cover he has a sword and a gun.
Yeah, we didn't really see any swords. We didn't see hardly any swords in the movie or guns, hardly. Guess what I was watching? I haven't watched it in years. I was watching the Killer and Hardboiled.
Killer and Hardboiled, two great John Woo classics.
Classics. Oh, I just had me an Asian action cinema. I was on the Asian action cinema thing all weekend, and I said, I got to put this on because I haven't watched it. And then what happened was I recently got the Dragon Dynasty versions because I had the original versions on DVD, and I just got the Dragon Dynasty versions. And the Dragon Dynasty versions is, it's a slightly better transfer.
Oh, okay.
And it's noticeably better. But I just watched it, and classics, man. I mean, John Woo, Chow Yun-fat. If you're a man, you're just gonna love this movie. Both of those movies, you're gonna love them. And if you're a woman and you watch this movie, you rock. I just had a good time this weekend. That's what I was doing. That's all I was doing.
I slept most of this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you needed that sleep, man.
Heck yeah, man. I'm just relaxing.
Yeah.
This weekend coming up, I'm gonna try and relax too. Hopefully this test don't give me too much of a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
did watch The Unknown, whatever it was, with Liam Neeson in it.
Oh, Liam Neeson?
Yeah, whatever.
Say Liam Neeson.
I said Liam Neeson.
He said Liam Neeson.
Reverse the letters, huh?
My name's not Liam. My name is not Liam Neeson. Nah, but how was it?
It was good. It was almost. I don't know if you've seen what was the name of that movie where he got Taken?
Yeah.
Seen Taken? It was along those lines, but not as much violence.
Oh, okay. Well, I like Taken. Taken was hot.
Taken was hot.
Taken was hot. Liam Neeson is fucking amazing. I mean, he's so awesome that that's the only reason I saw Clash of the Titans was because of his phrase, "Release the Kraken." Like that line alone made the movie. Like after I saw that, I said, okay, I can turn off the movie now. Send it back. That's the only reason I rented Clash of the Titans. That's the only reason I rented it, just so I can hear him say it. And I recorded it so I can have it. I think I recorded it
in one of your tracks. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I have to look for it though. I have it in my archives and stuff. But yeah, Liam Neeson's the man. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But
check this out, man.
What?
At work on the base, like when students leave, they have Ford mailing addresses, but the post office considers magazines as junk mail, so they won't forward the junk mail.
What?
So, don't worry about it. These cats coming into boot camp and whatnot, coming to these schools, they make a little bit of coin so they can handle the loss.
Right.
Anyway, so they leave the magazines out for anybody to pick up and take away whatever they want. They just mark out the names. So it was a PlayStation magazine out there. Guess who was on the cover of it?
Who?
Ryu from the Ninja Gaiden series. So
what?
they had a 4-page spread on Ninja Gaiden 3.
Mm-hmm.
And on the cover, I didn't notice it. Well, I'm gonna give it away. It was in the article. On the cover, you see this like blood that's standing outside his arm. It's not blood that's on him. It's something's up with his arm.
Right.
And he doesn't have the dragon sword.
So
exactly. And so I was reading the article, and they said, what's his name? One of the guys that made it.
So his arm fused with the dragon sword or something?
That's the same thing I'm thinking too. But I was reading the article, they asked him, they say, if you notice the cover, he doesn't have his sword. But when you read the article, you see him cutting through people in the little pictures and whatnot.
Right.
And he has a sword. They said him not having a sword on the cover has something to do with the storyline in the game.
Wow.
Talk about cliffhanger.
Hell yeah. I'm like, because I mean, not only everybody knows that I'm fiending for this game, but now that you told me this shit, I'm like, it's like almost sexual now. Like, I'm fiending right now. Like, I'm like drooling. Yeah, I know. I know I have a poor choice of wording sometimes, but that's the only thing I can think of to express how I'm feeling right now. Because I'm like really, really drooling right now.
Everything sexual with Neff, right?
Yeah, it sure is. Yo, Nitro, what's up?
Finally, Nitro.
What's going on, buddy?
Back. to the podcast.
What's up, dude?
What's up, people?
How you doing, man?
Chilling,
Yeah,
man.
that's it right there, man.
Yeah, I see it. I see the.
Yeah, I was just, sitting, listening in. I came in all late. Sorry, people.
Yeah. You just eavesdropping on us?
Of course. You know how I do.
Yeah. But I was thinking the same thing you were thinking, Neff, that the dragon sword is in his arm or in his carcass.
Something. It's possible. It's quite possible. It's because like you just said, I'm looking at the cover. It's not in his hand. It's not even in the sheath.
Yeah.
So it's like, and his arm is all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, looking all monstrous, and I'm like,
well, it's not messed up. If
Couldn't there just be a point in the game where he just lost it or something, or is that like too mundane?
Nah. Because Ryu is the man. He would never lose his sword.
Well, the thing is, the guys that created it said, a ninja is nothing without his sword. So it's got to be something. They hired a writer to do the story. If y'all get a chance to read the article,
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, if you get a chance to read the article. It's really, really good. Really good article.
Say it again.
What's up?
Say it again.
I said it's been years since I actually picked up a PSM.
Yeah.
Like, wow. They still have those.
Yeah. Back in the days, like during the PlayStation 1 era, that magazine used to be like one of the biggest mags, it used to be great. I used to read it all the time, but I haven't read it in years, to tell you the truth. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm gonna read that article though, boys. I'm really gonna get on that joint. I'm glad you put me onto that joint.
And actually, what you should do if you're really thinking about subscribing to PSN Magazine, keep checking out those Amazon deals, because sometimes they've been having some good deals with magazine subscriptions like PC Gamer and Xbox Magazine and all that stuff, like $5 for the entire year.
Oh, really? Wow. Excellent. Well, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna look at. Looking out for that, Hax. I'm gonna look on Amazon for that.
Yeah, I usually catch them every once in a while, so I usually get a shit ton of subscriptions on free. Well, not free, but very cheap.
Yeah, like damn near free. Pretty much damn near free. Yeah, that sounds awesome, man. Wow, man. Yeah, but that's all I've been doing. I've been watching like movies and I watched part of the Green Lantern Emerald Knights on Blu-ray.
Parts. Why didn't you watch all of it?
Well, because my buddy, he came through. We were discussing some things, and then I got on with you guys earlier, and so I had to shut it off. But it's exactly it's exactly like you said, Hack. It looks beautiful on Blu-ray.
Yeah, the art is fantastic. It's probably one of the better DC animated shows to date.
It's like, so far, I think I watched about like the first 20, 25 minutes of it, and it starts off with action, It looks gorgeous. Like, I mean, like the storyline so far is tight. The character designs, the animation, it's just top notch. As far as a DC animated thing goes, it's like they did their thing with it. I'm really enjoying it so far.
They're doing a reversal. What needs to happen here is Marvel needs to keep doing live action movies, and DC just needs to keep doing animated movies and call it.
They need to stick to the animated flicks in general, I think. Because I can't, other than Batman, they don't really have decent live action movies at all.
Yeah.
Like, Superman was ass, Green Lantern was trash. What else do they got? They have a Wonder Woman film yet?
Yeah, they for the animation?
No, they had a Wonder Woman's live action movie. Didn't they get canceled?
Yeah, it got canceled. Yeah, because they were working on one and it got canceled. It got canned. It's in development hell right now.
Yeah, because I remember they had one in development, and I was like, "Oh, here we go again." And they came in for sentence.
But see, I think that they have an animated Wonder Woman, DC animated Wonder Woman movie, and that was actually really good. It was actually good.
The animation was so-so. It was alright.
It wasn't so-so. It was good. It was alright. Like, it was up there. I put it up there. It was damn good. I was surprised at how good it was. It's more than so-so. It's more than so-so animation-wise. It looks good.
It's alright. Compared to DC's other movies, like for example, All-Star Superman or again Green Lantern or Batman, it's a little.
Well, they had a different. It had more of the old DC universe look to it than the newer DC animated features that they had, because they don't have the same. I don't think they use the same artist for the Wonder Woman one.
Oh man, crap! I'm sorry, just to cut you off. I'm a little excited here.
What?
Speaking about DC animated movies, did you see the previews for the new Batman one?
Nah, what?
What, you didn't see that? Year One Batman?
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
oh
wait.
yeah, I did say. Yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah.
I just forgot about it. I just, until it comes out, I forget about shit like that.
Year
Yeah.
one was a great storyline, and I just hope they do the comic justice.
You know what they need to start doing though, right? What they need to start doing with DC animated series is they need to start. You know how like the Japanese are doing with the Hellsing manga? They're pretty much going through the whole manga and turning each like chapter or each few chapters into an
Yeah,
OVA or
OAV,
something
like
like that.
Alpha.
They need to do that with the main series of like say Superman or Batman. They need to take the main comic book, the issues of the main comic book series and turn that into like an OVA, like turn each several issues into an OVA or something like that.
All right, now here's the problem with that. The thing about it is it's entirely too often that any particular comic book hero in general, especially if they're popular, will have multiple main comic book series running at a time.
Well,
Also, on top of that, there's so many friggin' issues of a comic book. I mean, and that's
when
one
I'm talking about the main issues, like Batman has like several
like the graphic
like
novels.
Batman has several series, right? He has like several comic book series, but there's always a main series that's like default by default the like the end all be all. You know
Not
what I mean?
not necessarily.
But what I'm saying is like they need to pick like the default one because it's old. They don't even gotta worry about it. Could be from back in the days, like the '80s or something like that.
But I mean, if Batman has like, adventure comics and then but detective comics and then like a couple other ones, that's what I mean. Like, it's never really just one default series. And that's one thing that I really like manga over comic books for. But manga you just buy, you got the one storyline, you buy the one comic. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I love about manga
and it's
too.
done.
Yeah, that's what I love about manga as well.
But
Yeah.
with comic books, you got X thousand different writers and a bunch of different series, and everything's getting retconned and different stuff is happening. Like, I was reading Wolverine, and I swear to God, like, in 1 month, Wolverine has been in like 6 different places around the globe with like
Yeah, Marvel
He
is
sure has.
Marvel is really bad about that. Like Wolverine's like on X-Men, he's on both the
X-
Avenger team.
and he's
He's in another comic.
X-Force.
Yeah, it's like he's
there's like 6
everywhere.
different Wolverines right now. Like,
He's the hardest working man in Marvel right now.
Yeah, he is. But and then Spider-Man's on like the Avengers, and he's on Fantastic Four.
Right, exactly.
He's on his own series, and he's on this, and he's on that. And DC does it too, but not to the same extent.
Yeah. But what they need to do is they need to sort out what they need to do out of all the issues for all their characters, like for Batman, they need to sort out all the series that he's in, sort which series is going to be the more stable, the one that's more the authority on Batman himself as far as storyline goes, as far as a story progression goes, and they need to start working on like every several months they release an OVA on that, because I want to start this. I want to see continuity as far as story goes, and as far as these animated features. I want to see something that like storylines that lead into each other, like and that has like one big story arc, because they haven't really done anything that's really mind blowing. They've done really good animated features, but as far as a story goes, they haven't done anything mind blowing like they did with the animated series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. And to be honest, I don't think they need to like really like force continuity, especially in comic books, because it's something that just isn't particularly there. For them to, take the route of OVAs, I would like them to take that route, and they don't necessarily have to like amalgamate everything, but for them to take like the certain storylines, like the graphic novels, like you were saying, instead of just having one flick, to actually lengthen that out into, a certain amount of short films or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For example, they had like the Batman Superman thing, and if you saw like the Apocalypse one, like you guys saw that one, right? The Batman Superman Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was based on the Supergirl graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's actually like a series of those of the whole Batman Superman that actually had a continuity within itself that included like Supergirl, that included like a whole bunch of different types of kryptonites, like and included, I think it included the Public Enemies comic, which was another movie that they made. And I would like it if they just had, instead of just bringing those out as singular movies that are based on each graphic novel, to actually have a series that tie them all together,
Right.
like they're tied in the comic books. And I
Right.
think that'd be a lot more feasible than trying to, force continuity over something that has like 10 different writers.
Right. Well, I understand what you're saying. It's just that I don't want nobody to force anything. I would just like for them to look through their stories, find something in all of their issues, in all of their series that has a common ground, and start making something that has continuity, because there's continuity there. It's just that they're just not doing it with the animated features of the DC universe. And so I would like them to start doing that, because I think it would add a whole new depth to it, because all they're doing is like standalone films. And it's like I would want to see something with that same quality, but with something that has continuity, that has like a more of a serialized feel to it. Like, oh, this movie went off, then there'll be part 2, then there'll be part 3. You know what I mean? And then it'll.
What movie are we talking about?
We're talking about the the DC animated universe, like how they do the movies and stuff. And I'm talking about pretty much. I want them to start making a more serialized version of like a DC animated story with, like, say, Batman or something like that. Like have like a story that's similar to like an animated series, but give.
I don't think they'll do that.
Of course they're not going to do it, but they should.
Yeah.
They should do it, because it would add a whole new depth to their thing, and it would evolve the entire American animation thing as far as comic book animation things go. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
Right.
I think you and I pretty much want the same thing.
Yeah, we do. And I agree with you. I understand what you're saying, Nitro. It's just that I think that they should just there's certain factors that they should just say, hey, fuck the bullshit and just get on it. Stop making excuses of why they can't do it. That's all I'm saying. Because they can do it. They have the power, they have the resources, they have the writers, they have everything they need
They got the comics already with the continuity. Like with Batman Year One, they have like a whole string of storylines that they could, make short films or make a continued series from.
Exactly. Like turn that into a serialized OVA animated, like top tier animated saga. You know what I mean? All they're gonna do is just turn it into all it's gonna be is a standalone movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be one shot.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's good. That's kind of. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm sure it's gonna be tight, but it's gonna suck in comparison to what it could have been had they done it the way we would want them to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I find myself feeling that way about so many things sometimes. It's like they can do so much more with stuff.
Exactly, because
like Nintendo.
Because you know what the thing about it, Nitro, is that as popular as these characters are, like most people don't really know the depth of like characters like Superman and Batman, because most people don't read the comic books.
Wait.
No,
I'm going to go on record real quick and just say DC doesn't even know that, okay?
Huh?
Yeah, I agree.
Say that again?
DC doesn't even know doesn't even know the word for their own comics. I mean, on the real, just to break up what you're talking about, I'm not going to get Marvel shit, because Marvel so far as they plateau from time to time, but DC is like, holy cow! Like, for example, you're aware that DC is revamping all their major comics this year.
Yeah, I heard
everything. They're doing the whole universe.
That means some people are having new origins, some things happened in the past never happened, new costumes, younger characters.
Yeah.
Superman might not be from Krypton anymore, or Bruce Wayne's parents might never die.
Doing everything.
This is retarded.
Get this, Batman is actually Bruce Wayne's father instead of being Bruce Wayne.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Say that again?
Thomas Wayne is Batman.
In the new retcon of the DC retcon?
Yeah, it's this one comic that's apparently Flashpoint related called Batman Night of Vengeance, and like Thomas Wayne, when the mugger attacks, the Waynes after they're coming out the movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Thomas Wayne, gets mad and tries to be a hero and like jumps the mugger or whatnot, and apparently somebody else gets shot, possibly both Martha and Bruce.
Wow! So then he becomes Batman.
Yeah. So I've only only the one comics come out so far, so I'm not sure exactly what the story is. But yeah, Batman's an old man. He's freaking Thomas Wayne, and he runs a casino. Wayne Casino.
DC's gonna see this shit. It's gonna be like, hey, how come our comics aren't selling? Because you just fucked up.
Because
That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. And this is like something that's already there.
This has been in a plan for a long time. Apparently, they have everything.
They're shitting on the golden rule. They're shitting on the golden rule of comic books, man.
Why are they doing this? Why?
I mean, I understand why they wanted to do it for like Superman because DC doesn't have the rights to do everything as Superman because originally Superman was another creation of somebody else. And the problem is, anytime DC uses Superman and goes back into the origins, I think they have to pay somebody royalty fees about that. I might be wrong because DC doesn't have the rights to the original Superman. So they've been slowly but surely revamping Superman. Now this way, they went on record saying that when they do this for Superman, they can basically they can change origins completely and not owe anybody anything and do whatever they want to do.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Because they've done they've like retconned his origin story quite a few times.
Exactly.
Yeah. Remember, they did it in Man of Steel. I remember they did it in Man of Steel back in the 80s. They did a lot. They did a lot.
Here's another thing.
What?
DC is kicking Marvel's butt in the movie industry, but Marvel is kicking DC's butt on a comics tip.
Are you for real?
So,
Really? For real?
I'm sorry.
Like, the only movies DC has so far is Batman, Superman, and now Green Lantern.
No, you
Yeah,
just say
and as far as that's concerned, you might as well just say Batman.
yeah. You must say it's Batman and
so y'all think Watchmen didn't make a lot of money? Watchmen made a lot of money.
Watchmen was good, but you got Watchmen
X-Men.
and the Batman and the Batman films against Thor, Superman. I mean Thor, Spider-Man, X-Men,
The first Batman,
films, Iron Man.
the first
films.
Batman movie
Like, what?
made more. The first Batman movie in itself, the when they redid it, made more movie than the X-Men movie, the new X-Men movie, the Thor movie.
Say it again.
The new Batman movie made more money than the X-Men movie, the Thor movie, and all of DC's latest movies lately by itself.
What the
but
Dark
you
Knight?
realize that like
the Dark Knight
the
joint?
Spider-Man series made more than like anything, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Spider-Man was like the highest grossing film or something. I forget where I read that. It was
The Dark Knight made more than all the Spider-Man movies.
all the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, Dark Knight, it was like I think it broke records. Dark Knight broke records.
Yeah, I think before that it was Spider-Man.
Yeah, probably before that was Spider-Man, but Dark Knight took it. Like, as far as superhero movies go, I think Dark Knight still holds that record.
Yeah, but all DC has is Dark Knight. Like all DC
Yeah, that is. You're right. That's all
Batman.
because Batman rocks, and that's all DC has. Yeah, you're right. I don't think Marvel is losing to DC in the movie department. I just think that
Marvel is slaughtering DC in the live action movie department. Iron Man. I mean, Spider-Man 3 was trash, but I mean, Spider-Man 1 and 2 was that pretty much started the whole thing. And the X-Men movies were all right, but they got that.
the X-Men movies were not all right. The X-Men movies,
No, they were not.
the X-Men,
and they didn't make a lot of money.
the X-Men movies,
Nor
were
did-
pure shit.
Yo, dude.
Nor did
I'm
that Thor movie was not good either.
I'm
That Thor
average.
movie was average.
Hey, I'm averaging them all. Like from the first one to First Class, and
I haven't seen First Class yet. I haven't seen
First Class was good.
Right.
Yeah, it was all right.
Right. But
yeah.
as far as the first,
Hold on a second. I just looked it up. So yeah, the highest grossing one is still Batman. Batman total gross is like 1.45 billion.
damn.
Behind it is Superman with 1.11 billion.
Told you, DC is kicking their butt in
But
the movies, but
DC is actually losing. They only have one
Really?
movie in there, and it's Batman. Everything else is Marvel.
Knew that.
Yeah,
Marvel 786 million. Iron Man is 360 million. You got
$1 billion right there.
yeah. So they just surpassed DC. Superman only did 518 million for Superman.
Which Superman movie? The last one or the one?
Yeah, Return.
Original one.
Return.
They're grossing all of them.
Wow.
They're grossing all the Superman movies. All Superman movies combined
combined.
only did $518 million.
That's sad.
Well, I mean, come on now. We talking about price of inflation. Nobody was going to the movies Like, well, yeah, they were going to the movies back
No,
then,
Superman
Yeah.
one was like Superman one was last.
theaters weren't proliferated as they are now. So
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Well, actually, no, I was gonna say Superman 1 did the most, but it didn't. It actually, Superman Returns actually beat Superman. Superman did 134 million, and Superman Returns did 200 million.
Oh, okay.
That's a travesty.
Even with inflation,
That's a
'cause-
travesty. There's no way hell reboot should have beat
so
original.
so what they did it with inflation. That Superman one thing is with inflation or what?
Hey, I can't tell you
no,
that.
they just do it with raw numbers. They deal with raw numbers.
Oh, okay.
How did Watchmen do?
I'm actually still looking at Watchmen. That's just looking at. I'm looking at the highest grossing, the 10 top grossing ones so far. And
The
Watchmen,
last two Batman movies and Watchmen are better than all the Marvel movies I've seen lately.
Watchmen is not even in the list.
Wow. Yeah. It may not have gotten as much exposure,
Yeah,
you know,
Watchmen
from the
is-
main. I mean, from the mainstream as like the Dark Knight did or something like that. But it was still a tight flick.
Yeah, it was.
Like I said, Watchmen and the last two Batmans are better than all the Marvel movies I've.
Wow, Watchmen didn't
What?
break even.
I like Iron Man better than I like Watchmen.
Watchmen.
I
did,
like Watchmen better.
Domestically,
Uh-huh.
Watchmen did 1.7 million dollars.
Whoa.
The
1 point-
budget,
Wow.
well, the budget was 130 million dollars.
So the domestic. Wait, say it again. Say how much?
Domestic did 1.7 million dollars.
1.7.
Can't be right.
Wait,
Hey,
wait,
Okay,
for
wait,
real?
that's not right. Let me look this up.
Yeah, that's not right. You said 1.7.
No,
Right.
this guy isn't right. Let me check.
Oh, okay. I thought you said at first. I thought you said.
Okay, no, this guy is wrong. He did his math wrong. It's 107 million dollars.
Okay.
Oh,
The budget was still 130 million dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So domestically, they didn't beat production. They lost money. And then adding foreign sales to it, it did $77 million foreign. So it came up to $185 million.
Wow. Watchmen made that little bit of money.
I still like Watchmen better than I liked Iron Man.
Nah, the first Iron Man.
Iron Man was good, but Watchmen still had a better story.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've watched Watchmen probably a few times. I've seen Iron Man like quite like a lot.
Yeah, I've watched Iron Man more than Watchmen, but I gotta say, Watchmen did have a better storyline.
Yeah,
But Iron Man, I think Iron Man was just a more entertaining movie.
it was.
But you also gotta look at it this way. Watchmen was more of a darker comic compared to Iron Man. Iron Man
Yeah, it
appeals
was.
to everybody. You can't look at Watchmen and say, "I'm gonna go take little Timmy to go see Watchmen." You're not gonna do that.
And Watchmen was like 5 books, and Iron Man is like 500 or something like that.
Right.
Iron Man is more proliferated, so I still, like I said, to me, in my mind, I guess DC is beating Marvel because I didn't like none of the X-Men movies except this First Class one. Thor was not that good.
Thor was not.
No, it
Thor
wasn't
was
that good, but it was all right.
It was still better than Green Lantern.
Yes, it was.
You saw Green Lantern? You saw Green Lantern?
Yes, I finally did, and I did not like it.
Wow.
Yeah, so Thor was better than Green Lantern.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Like I said, I'll wait for Blu-ray for Green Lantern movie, and
But
I
Cap's gonna kick
might go see
everybody's
Thor.
ass.
I might go see Thor while it's still in the theaters.
Cap's gonna kick
No,
everybody's
don't.
ass.
You think Cap is gonna do it like that, yo?
Oh
I
yeah.
think so. I think so too.
Hell yes.
Captain America.
Oh, and
I hope so. I really hope so. Because I love Cap. You know, I love Cap as a character. So I really hope it does do something. I hope I enjoy it. That's all I care about. I hope
X-Men Origins was garbage to me. I did
Yes,
not
it
like
was.
that.
Dude, why
Yes,
are you
it was.
talking about X-Men Origins? Let's not ever say that name again. That should be taboo on this podcast.
Wolverine Origins.
Oh, we talk about garbage Origins. That shit was garbage.
As far as the big name comic book films, what do you think is either your most important big name comic book film or your favorite big name comic book film? I mean, like out of Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Watchmen.
Love to see a Deadpool movie. I would love to see a Deadpool movie.
Though not with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
He was good as Deadpool in that whack ass
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he was not. No, he was not. Dude, he said a
That
couple.
was like vehemently denying it.
Dude, he said a couple of smarmy little lines, and then the rest of the movie, we didn't hear anything from him. It was whack. He was whack. Everybody,
He wasn't the focal point of the movie though.
huh?
he wasn't the focal point of the movie though.
But what I'm saying, whatever they showed of him didn't impress me or anything. It wasn't anything that I was like, wow, he'll make a good Deadpool, and he didn't.
You know what's actually funny about Deadpool? He actually had a better role in Wolverine versus the Hawk than he did in Wolverine Origins.
He was great in Wolverine versus the Hulk. Exactly, he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I would love to see an animated movie on Deadpool. That would be kick ass. But not with Ryan Reynolds doing anything in a live action film. Ryan Reynolds they need to keep Ryan Reynolds away from comic book movies for like a good 10 years.
Well, if they're serious about what they're saying, there might be a sequel to Green Lantern. So if there is a Deadpool movie, he probably won't be it.
Thank goodness. I hope not.
But yeah, as far as most important movies, like I said, they haven't made it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's good. That's a good start. All I can say for comic book movies is that all I'm waiting for is the Dark Knight, whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah, with the one with Bane in it and shit.
Yeah, that's all I'm waiting for. I don't know what the fuck I forgot what it's going to be called. It's something.
Dark Knight takes it.
Yeah, the Dark Knight comes back with the halter top or whatever the fuck they're going to call it.
Just call it Batman 3. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Batman 3. I'm waiting for that. That's the #1 comic book movie I'm waiting for. And it's not even coming out anytime soon. It'll be coming out sometime next year, maybe. But
did y'all know Superman stopped making money for DC back in the 90s?
Really?
Yeah, as far as Batman and Superman go, Batman's been bringing in more money for DC
of course.
than Superman.
Man,
but Superman used to be
surprised. Like really?
Well, here's the thing. Superman used to be my favorite character a long time ago. Long time ago.
Like, how old were you? How old were you when you realized that Superman was your fucking dude?
I was 20. Oh, shit. When I was a kid. I mean, when I was in my single digits.
Yeah, I know. Like what? 8 or 9? What?
I think when the first movie came out.
The first movie came out in 78.
Yeah, exactly.
You were 2.
And
you were 2.
3. I remember having my Superman doll, my Superman. Look, I got pictures of me in my Halloween gear in the Superman all the way till I'm 7.
Wow.
Man, there must be something wrong with me then, because I was never a Superman fan.
Me neither. I'm not a Superman. I love Christopher Reeve in the original movies, especially 1 and 2. That's what made me like Superman, but I've never been a Superman fan. If I like anything of Superman, it was the Christopher Reeve flicks. That was it. Batman has been my dude since the first Tim Burton film. Like, that's when I realized there's nobody iller than Batman. That made me a Batman fan. And then, I mean, I always liked Batman as a kid, but it was like certified. He's been my favorite since I was about 11. And
I used to rock the Superman black and white joints that used to come on regular TV in the early morning.
I used to watch that, but that wasn't. But come on, when you used to. But listen, Batman back then, like if you were a kid and you were like.
I did not like that show. I did not like that show.
I did. I used to watch that show. I used to come on, Adam West. Come on, you can't. That had it was fun back in the days. It was a fun little show. It was campy. It was, but.
Them cheesy ass old
cheesy.
people. Man.
Yeah, it was cheesy as fuck, but still, it was like
Leave It to Beaver, man. You know, listen to him talk.
It was corny. It was campy, but it was still enjoyable because I've watched it like recently, and I was just laughing my ass off at how bad, but how I was still like somewhat drawn to it. Like I just couldn't stop watching it for some reason, and it was like this is my childhood. I grew up watching that show. You know,
watching Superman jump out that window and then he be falling down the building and then he switch frames and he changed into the suit. That was hot. Fuck that, man. It was hot.
But that's back in the 40s, man. That was back in the 40s. That was even worse.
I love that show, man. I love that show.
That was worse. I can't watch that because that was just like I think that was what George Reeve or something like that. Who did that? Who played Superman back then in the 40s?
It was George Kent. George Reeves. I'm sorry, George Reeves.
Yeah. That was hilarious. I used to watch that too as a kid. I grew up watching that too, and it was cheesy. I never really got into that because, like I said, I was never a Superman fan. Batman, I always liked Batman. From a small boy, I loved Batman. But when the first Tim Burton movie came out, that's when it certified. I said, "Oh my God, I was in love with Batman." Like like, god damn, I was on Superman. I was on Batman's balls. Seriously, I was like, everything was Batman. Seriously, I was like, I'm telling you, it was sad. I was less into Batman like that. I had all the figures, I had the T-shirts, everything. I was just like, I was totally a Batman fag. I was. It was so soft. It was so pathetic how. It was so pathetic how much I love Batman when that Tim Burton movie came out. It was sad. I look at myself back then. I'm like, oh god, I was so lame.
I think the reason I gravitated towards Superman more because I was more fascinated with using my imagination with cats with powers and stuff. That's why I liked X-Men when I started reading the book. My first few comics were Superman and Superboy books, and then I saw X-Men. And I was like, Marvel ain't messing with DC. Then I started reading the X-Men books. I started reading X-Men classics. Mm-hmm. Then I started from there on. The history. That's history.
Wow.
Then Marvel became my favorite company.
Yeah. See, all right. For me, I'm a younger guy than y'all. So for me, it had to be. I think it was the Superman animated series and like the Batman animated series, and I love both of them. Like I did watch the old like black and white 40s Superman cartoons.
Yeah,
and those were the shit.
Yo, those were good. Yeah,
like,
you're right.
It really was like the 90s Superman cartoons that really made me love Superman. I love Superman all the way up to the point when I realized when I got a little bit older and started learning about good and proper storytelling and stuff.
Right.
And I realized that Superman is incredibly fucking boring. Like Superman has to be the most boring superhero ever.
Wait, hold on, boys. Nitro?
Yeah.
I fucking 100% agree with you. That's why I don't like Superman.
Like, see, that's when I stopped.
He's the most boring motherfucker on the comic book universe. Like,
in the comic book universe. Superman so boring. And let me break it down to y'all real quick. Like, I actually like stopped liking Superman when I realized that no matter what the hell happened, I mean, not only did he have the plot armor by being the main fucking hero that all main heroes, generally have,
right?
But he's fucking Superman. Who the hell fucks with this dude? Nobody.
That's the thing.
That's
the thing is, right?
And when
the difference between
proper storytelling, you learn that it's really boring it's really boring to watch a story when you already know what the outcome is going to be. Superman's going to fly up. He's going to do that same fucking bullshit haymaker right that he always does against everything. Even though he has every power under the sun, he'd rather fly at you slow as shit and hit you with a big ass right hook. And that's it. And then the dude falls down and whatever, or the dude does his little move and Superman acts like he's in pain, but it doesn't do shit to him and he just hits you and that's it. And that's Superman.
The difference between Superman and Batman is the villains. Bottom line, Superman has no mixer play.
Yo, boys, say that again. Say it again, boys. I couldn't make out what you said. Say it again.
This cat has to fight cats like Mixelplick, an old little elf. He fights what's the motherfucking name? Brainiac, a supercomputer. None of his villains are worth anything. Batman got some ill ass villains.
No, Riddler, see that's the thing. That's the thing, Wiz. You realize why he has to fight little fairies and computers and shit, right? Because they're not things that he can just fly up and punch the shit out of and be done with.
With the haymaker, right? With the haymaker.
Like with the haymaker, right? He does that, and like it doesn't matter to Brainiac, it doesn't matter to Mxyzptlk. That's why nobody can fuck with Superman. Because if you actually bring in something that you yourself, as the reader, as the viewer, would be like, look at that and like, wow, that's a threat. Yeah, that would be a threat, but not to Superman because he's Superman.
Right.
The two biggest villains he had to fight was Doomsday and was it Darkseid?
Yeah, Doomsday and Darkseid.
Yeah, Darkseid.
These are like the only people who can fuck with Superman. But for them to actually be special and for Superman to retain his, status as Superman, the dude that nobody fucks with, people who actually can fuck with Superman have to be like the super big boss people that appear once in a blue moon.
Yeah, exactly.
With Batman, he's a normal person.
Right.
And he has no powers. So you can be like, everything that would be a threat to you and me is a threat to Batman that he has to actually deal with.
Right.
Superman can just stand there.
Exactly.
which is why Superman is the most boring hero ever. And like I used to love Superman, but then I just realized that it's no fun watching his stories most of the time.
You know why? Because you grew the fuck up. That's what it was.
Exactly, and you realize that watching it where the hero just shows up and has every power in the world and just saves the day with absolutely no effort. Like that's
well. Let me say this. Let me say this. To the Superman fans out there, I know. Nitro's embellishing a little bit because a lot of shit does happen to Superman. That's like some really crazy shit. But
I mean,
overall, he is a boring character. He does have it's just a lot of shit that he should not have to go through. He should never even let happen because this guy can literally affect the universe. He has the powers that he's pretty much a god. He's like
he can reverse time.
Yeah, pretty.
Oh God, please no, please no.
Oh come on now. That's only in the movie. That was only in the movie.
That was just from the movie.
That was only in the movie.
No, but that was still some bullshit though. That was still some bullshit.
That was the dumbest shit.
Yeah, that was still some bullshit.
All right, that's also when I realized that I didn't like live action Superman movies.
Nah, I ain't gonna front. That bullshit time thing was stupid, but I still love Superman 1. I will not front. I love it. I watch it, and yeah, the special effects aren't as good as they used to, but it's still a well-made film. Like otherwise,
I was feeling it until he flew around the world backwards, and then
I just saved Lois. He couldn't let his love die.
And then I realized that I was like, wait a minute, time does not work that way, and I was done.
Because you read Michio Kaku's books on quantum physics.
No, I didn't need to read anything on quantum physics. That was just like basic fucking. Like I studied the solar system, and it was like, oh, the Earth rotates this way. So wait, if the Earth rotates the other way, time somehow reverses. Wait, what?
Exactly.
Like, huh? All right. That just does not compute.
Yeah, that was lame.
But to elaborate further on what Bwiz was saying, though, it is the villains that make your heroes. Because one of the reasons I love Batman so much is because he does have some of the sickest villains in comic book. Like, first of all, Joker is one of my favorite villains of all time.
Oh, definitely.
And I would arguably say he's my favorite villain. I'll arguably say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, arguably he's my favorite villain. Like, there's other guys that are up there too. That
Apocalypse is the other one.
But Batman is a guy that he has to be on his toes. He has to be on his P's and Q's at all times. And because he's going against guys that Superman goes against. He's going against Darkseid, Darkseid. He's going against those guys. You know what I mean?
Well,
and he's still alive, See,
the thing is, you're right that it is the villains that do make the hero in a lot of cases. But the thing is, what I was saying about that is that with Batman, I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy to create good villains or compelling villains for Batman,
right.
But compared to Superman, it's a fucking cakewalk.
Right.
Because the thing is, with Batman, like, you can get a guy with a gun and he'll be a threat to Batman, relative. You can still shoot Batman and hurt him and make him bleed.
Right.
Like, physically, you can't really touch Superman. So it's very, very difficult to come up with a compelling villain for him. And I'm not saying that everything is all sunshine and rainbows with Superman, because I've read plenty of Superman comics where, shit gets real and really bad shit happens. Because the thing is, Superman can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
But the thing is, in most forms of media, you don't really have time to set up those types of, really sick events or really sick things in collaboration with all these different villains and stuff like that, to really make a compelling villain or to really make a compelling scenario for Superman to handle.
There's only been like maybe about 4 or 5 things in the Superman universe that have been significant, that have boosted sales. Like what was it? The death of Superman.
Right. Yo, that's the top one.
The wedding.
Really
the wedding.
Yeah, the Kingdom Come.
The wedding. What was it? Wedding with him and Lois, and then was it Crisis a long time ago when Supergirl died?
Yeah, Crisis.
and now the final Crisis.
Yeah.
Well, they have a whole bunch of crises.
Yeah.
See, okay, bringing Superman into the picture again. There's a lot of people that could have went against Superman in a day and kicked his ass. but you never get to see those stories. And there's stories that people want, like for example, Superman versus Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Adam.
Black
Hell
Adam would have
yeah.
kicked Superman's ass. Everybody knows this. Why? Because Black Adam is just as strong as Superman, and he
And
has
it's
magic. And Superman
Hold up.
can't touch magic.
Right.
You're right.
But you
I
never
forgot,
see
I
it.
just-
Kryptonians have no magic resistance.
But you never see it.
I
You
just
never, you never
remember,
have it.
just like Neff was saying, the Kingdom Come when Shazam was whooping his ass. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shazam was whooping
And it's
Superman's
really
ass.
telling when the best things in Superman lore are the comics where he gets his ass kicked, and there are only like 4 of them.
Right.
That's kind of
Exactly.
It's over with you.
But you see Batman getting like
Batman gets murked every fucking comic.
exactly. Batman gets his when his back was broken by Bane. That was one of the most was one of the most craziest things. You know what I mean?
It was crazy, but on the other hand, it was like, wow, this is another day in the life of Batman.
Right.
Where it's like this is how
Exactly.
it looks when things actually don't go Batman's way for once.
Right. Exactly.
Not like this is some catastrophic villain or whatnot that showed up and it's like, oh my god, even Batman fell. No, some dude just got the drop on Batman and fucked him up. Like with Superman, you have to be like, oh, Doomsday, and he just bends everybody over and rapes like everybody before Superman and before Superman can step in and actually get a fight that's worthy of him.
Word, man. But you know what I think is the most interesting dynamic between Batman and Superman is that even though he's boring as fuck, I respect him because him and Batman have this. They're pretty much the best as a friend. The best.
Yes, they are.
Right.
That's another thing I was going to say.
They're the
That's
two
when
top,
they're together.
right, and they're pretty much the two top superheroes in the DC universe, and so each one looks at each other as their most dangerous adversary if one was to turn, if they were to fight each other. I don't think there's too many people that Superman fears besides Batman. I mean, there's some, but I'm saying Batman is probably one of the only superheroes that Superman's like, damn, this guy.
He's like the only human that Superman even fears.
Exactly.
And that's
Did y'all know that
Superman actually trusts Batman
Right.
to be the one. I mean, out of all the superpowered motherfuckers in the Justice League and whatnot, if Superman were to ever go crazy or need to be stopped or whatever,
everybody's coming to Batman. They like, hey, Bats, we need that. We need that.
All right, now see, and even that shit doesn't make any sense. Okay, on the real, I'm sorry. DC, I understand how you want to do something like that. That's fucking stupid. Scenario. Okay. Superman's going crazy. Batman, okay, I gotta stop this motherfucker. Superman, hey, I got super speed. I'm just flying to this motherfucker's cave and just shoot his head off. Hey, look, Batman is dead. I didn't have to come next to him.
Hey, exactly.
No, it's a hex. Here's the thing, but you're not understanding that even though that is the case, and this is technically possible, Superman is still Superman. So he'll come into the Batcave and fly at him slow as fuck with a haymaker right.
Hey, really no fact.
Actually, what will happen? Nitro is right. Nitro's right on that.
Look, did y'all know that Batman was gay?
Great. That was great, Nitro.
Oh, no.
Say that again, boys.
Batman was gay back in the day.
What?
Yeah,
He
you
wasn't
heard me
gay,
right.
He just really seemed that way, and Adam West didn't help.
No.
Comic books.
Yeah, like in the 50s or 60s.
They would have Batwoman, and they would, and like it was like
No.
the era.
You missing it. The motherfucker people, they was you know the ambiguously gay duo that they used to do on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
They got it from back in the 60s and 70s. They used to think Batman was gay because he used to sleep with Robin.
Well, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, because that was an era of Batman that I would like stricken from the records.
That was an era of Batman in which they really were.
He was just experimenting, right? That was an era of Batman when he's experimenting.
Right.
All right, okay.
It was the 60s. It was a crazy time.
Yo, I'm not appreciating how you taking pot shots at like stupid Batman comics and shit
Right.
from back in the day. Superman has like just as many. For all you listeners out there, I want y'all to visit this site called superdickery.com.
Oh
Super
no.
Dickery. Oh god.
Yeah. Go visit that and see how much gay shit and how much dumbass shit Superman went through.
All right.
Comics have been retarded back in the day.
He wasn't sleeping with little boys.
And neither Batman nor Superman is any exception.
Yo. Okay.
Superman married to Lois. We know he getting some ass. How about Batman? You know, he was like
Batman's always been getting ass though.
Dude, Batman gets so much ass. It's like it's crazy. And he's like he turns down half of it.
yeah, he tried the boy. He said, I'm tired of doing this little boy for a little bit. Let me try the female.
No, that was an alternate
sorry.
universe. No, first of all, that was an alternate universe. Bruce Wayne. That was a clone of an alien that was gay or something. I don't know. Not anything against gay people. It's just that.
I know y'all all on y'all computers right now.
That wasn't the real.
Look, go to Wikipedia right now and then type in Batman and then scroll down to the errors and then you're gonna see something that says where he was gay and shit. Read that shit. I'm telling you right now, straight like that.
That was a clone Batman, an alien clone Batman. I'll tell you from a different universe. That's
Batman
straight.
Yo, Neff, wiki that shit right now, man. Straight like that.
Wiki that. All right.
Wiki that shit.
Isn't always accurate.
So just wiki.
No.
Just wiki.
No. It just talk about how the news perceived it and stuff. It's not like somebody saying, yeah, he was gay, blah blah blah. But look at it, read it, man.
Okay, I'm on the Batman wiki right now.
Now go down to the shit, man.
What does it say?
Scroll down a little bit.
What am I looking for? Tell me what I'm looking for again.
Hold on. It should be like in the 60s or 70s when they say something about that. Hold on. Let me I turned off all the computers in the house, so I got to get up on my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't I want to like talk about something else. I'm talking about gay Batman.
Oh, this is back. I can't get on there.
I don't want to talk about gay Batman no more. Because there's no gay Batman as far as I'm concerned. I'm in denial.
It's all right. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's acceptable.
He wasn't actually gay.
He was just sleeping with his ward, right?
He was on some Michael Jackson shit.
No, it's ignorant. You're ignorant. No, that's not sleeping with ward.
See that?
No, it's ignorant. It's just
Ignorant? What?
it's
No, we got-
ignorant. You just
we got
ignorant.
Tyson on this shit now.
Right?
What? No, that was Michael Jackson.
No, that was for Michael Jackson.
What?
That was bad.
Oh,
That was bad.
Oh, okay.
Go down to cultural impact.
All right. Oh, cultural impact. Okay, I see
Yeah.
60s, the 1950s and early 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Hold on,
early years and blah blah blah.
Yeah, down there. It says homosexual interpretations.
Oh God. Leave them alone, you monsters.
Read it or y'all go read it
You
yourself.
alone. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Go.
Leave them alone. Yeah, homosexual interpretations. Yeah, I see it. Blah, blah,
Type of story. Children
That's
to homosexual
interpretation, though.
fantasies.
Okay, I don't want to badmouth. Let's.
It is never interpreted by any other comic book character that they're gay. I mean, any famous character. Would Wolverine be gay? I'm gonna fuck you, bub.
No, Wolverine was never gay. Wolverine was more like Wolverine likes jailbait. Wolverine was more on the era of he likes jailbait.
Yeah, like
young
with Jubilee and shit. Yeah.
He's always with young chicks.
Interpretation.
Young chicks.
It was a though.
Even though technically the Wolverine, everybody's fucking jailbeat. People don't care.
Basically.
Right, pretty much. Oh, yo, and but what made it official was remember Ultimate Spider-Man? Remember when Wolvie Wolvie was hitting on Ultimate Wolverine and the Ultimate Universe. He was kept hitting on Jean Grey, and she was a teenager, like straight
Yeah,
up.
he fucked.
You remember that though, right?
Fuck. I read that one. I read that just recently.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
and like Wolverine was like old. Wolverine was like, he was like Wolverine.
Wolverine's
He's
always old.
and he's not no young
Wolverine.
guy. And so he what happened was, to teach him a lesson, Jean Grey switched him in the body of Ultimate Spider-Man. And so here's Wolverine in the body of teenage Peter Parker. And this guy, Wolverine, was trying to was trying to bang. He was trying to tap up teenage Mary Jane Parker, Mary Jane Watson.
Yo, I cannot stop.
Spider-Man.
Huh?
I cannot stop reading this little Batman thing. Look, I'm reading the caption of I'm reading not the caption, but the actual thing that they took out of the Batman book. It says the narrative says morning, and it begins like any other routine morning in the lives of millionaires Bruce Wayne and his ward Dick Grayson. He said, that was good sleep. Come on, Dick. A cold shower, a big breakfast, and then he said, and then down to the Batcave to repair the Batmobile. I'm way ahead of you.
It's protected. You just make it sound like that. That's not what it didn't sound like that.
That was so uncalled for.
Yeah, that was a call for Biz. Giving him that little gay voice, little girl.
Just reading so the school. He said, come on, Dick. A cold shower and a big breakfast. You like the sausage, huh?
You're gonna get calls. Listen, you're gonna get calls from readers.
Boy.
Yo, but we gotta wrap this up, guys. We've been having too much fun, and when we have
I'm way ahead of you, Def.
we have too much. It's time to wrap it up. Yeah, you a sick man, yo. You messed up. Monster.
So closing thoughts. What's your closing thoughts?
My closing thought is that I want Bwizzy to leave Batman alone. Alone. What's your
Batman alone?
All right, closing thoughts. Final thoughts, guys. Closing thoughts. Final thoughts. Whatever.
Okay. My final thoughts. I have super speed, flight, invulnerability, laser vision, pull, freeze breath. Super intelligence. And I'm a henchman haymaker right. Peace.
All right, peace.
Oh man.
Closing thought. My closing thought is you have the power to continually move almost as fast as the speed of light, yet you get hit by a guy like
ass haymaker right.
Right, exactly. You get hit by a guy with a haymaker right that's like moving far less than the speed of light. I think that's just dumb. Okay, that's my closing thought. Okay, next.
My closing thought is let me see, what's my pick for the week?
Okay, Batman.
I started watching the X-Men anime. It's all right, but that's not gonna be my pick. Check out Blue Exorcist. I've started watching that just recently when I'll be waiting to go to class in the car, and it's pretty good. It's about like the devil's son, but check it out. That's my pick for the week. If y'all haven't already watched Break Blade or Eden of the East.
Okay. Hacks?
Two thoughts. One, why the fuck is it not July 22nd? So I can see Captain America. Okay.
No, talk to Superman because he controls time.
Okay. Well, see, here's my thing. I'm about to pick on Superman. Okay, I'm about to pick on Superman real quick. Okay. If Superman has all these superpowers, how would he fare against, somebody from Marvel? Juggernaut.
Yes,
Well, he fought the Hulk, remember?
But nothing beats the Juggernaut. Nothing stops the Juggernaut.
Remember, he fought the Hulk.
You can haymaker right the Juggernaut though.
But remember, Superman beat the Hulk in the crossover. Blah blah blah.
That crossover was bullshit.
Yeah, it was bullshit. It was bullshit. It was, but still, it's considered official.
Okay, let's go
whatever.
this way. Because the Hulk can't even beat the Juggernaut.
Yes, he can.
No,
now he can. Now he can.
No, last time he fought Juggernaut, he did not beat Juggernaut.
Okay, but that was back. But that was back then. Now,
no.
Now,
no, that was
Juggernaut runs from the Hulk.
That was in World War Hulk when Juggernaut was fighting the Hulk. Juggernaut was kicking his ass, and when he was like basically, "Oh, that's right. What was it about you? Nothing stops the Juggernaut." And he basically redirected him somewhere else, and Juggernaut couldn't stop running.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He didn't beat him. He just moved him out of his freaking way.
Okay, but still, I consider that a win because hey, we never heard from Juggernaut again in that.
No, it doesn't count, man, because you can't do any off the ground rules. You have to beat him straight up.
Yo, dude. Bottom line, Hulk, World War Hulk was the most badass thing in the Marvel universe in that series. There was nothing that could stop the Hulk in that series. He redirected Juggernaut. He used his brains this time because that's the only reason that the Juggernaut beat the Hulk the first time was because he outwitted him. So
Hulk is strongest.
I consider the Hulk winning this battle in World War Hulk.
Well, hey y'all, let him have his final thoughts, man.
Okay,
let him have his final thoughts.
Yeah, man. What the hell?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Damn it.
Hulk is strongest there is. Leave Hulk alone.
Yeah, Hulk is slowly but surely becoming Marvel's Superman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yay.
He is.
That's it.
He is. Okay. Well, that's our final thoughts, and we'll see you hopefully next week on the Outerhaven.net podcast.
Yeah, we'll have more arguments for you then too.
Yeah, we will. We totally will.
And more
All
G Batman.
it was a good one. Talk to you later, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
All right.